On Tuesday, Broncos coach Vic Fangio addressing the issue of racism in society. He tried to make a point, and he made it inartfully. And I'm going to read to you, Chris, what he said, and then what he said on Wednesday to clarify the situation. He said, I think our problems in the NFL along those lines are minimal. We're a league of meritocracy. You earn what you get what you earn. I don't see racism at all in the NFL. I don't see discrimination in the NFL. We all live together, joined as one for one common goal, and we all intermingle and mix tremendously. If society reflected an NFL team, we'd all be great. I believe what he intended, and I think his clarification gets to that when you have your team identified, there's no discrimination within there. You all are tied together. But there are well-established, well-documented issues within the NFL of potential racial bias. We were just spending time a couple of weeks ago talking about a broken system of minority hiring that Troy Vincent, the executive VP of football operations, will willingly publicly say is broken. So there are issues, and there was a backlash at Vic Fangio, a strong backlash. He was one of the top trending topics on Twitter yesterday as people saw his comment, I don't see racism in the NFL. And to his credit, Chris, he quickly did what he could to clean it up. After reflecting on my comments yesterday and listening to the players this morning, I realized what I said regarding racism and discrimination in the NFL was wrong. While I have never personally experienced those terrible things firsthand during my 33 years in the NFL, I understand that many players, coaches, and staff have different perspectives. I should have been more clear, and I am sorry. Outside of those lines, both in the NFL and society, there's a lot of work to be done in the areas of diversity and providing opportunities across the board for minorities. Look, when you make a mistake, when you misspeak,
right, own it.
That's how you clean it up. Yeah. And it didn't come off as contrived. It doesn't come off as, man, I got to get the heat out of a hot kitchen. And the moment that they realized in Denver what was going on, the moment Fangio realized that the point he was trying to make was not made with the clarity that he intended, he fixed it. Now, look, right. It's different than Drew Brees because I don't think there was any lack of clarity. But for Fangio, he painted with too broad of a brush. He felt the reaction, Chris, and he did what he had to do to clarify his point.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And clarify his point also within going self-reflection and then also saying, hey, I talked to players on my team. And that shows a guy that's compassionate and well thought out and willing to listen to go, that was stupid that I said that. Yeah, I think Vic Fangio, when he said the comment, he was trying to talk about a locker room more than anything. And, a locker room in the NFL is not reflective of society. Yeah. There's a lot of blending in cultures. It's the great thing about football. It's the reason I tell parents to this day, hey, get your kids in football. Not only is it going to teach them a lot of life lessons, I've been around a lot of different cultures and learned a lot about these different cultures because of my football background and got to experience things that, yes, in my white privilege life of growing up in North New Jersey, that I would have never experienced if I had just stayed there and not played the sport of football. So, within the locker room, there are great respects. You got people coming from many different avenues of life and different struggles, and you find a way to unite and be good, and that's great. But the bigger problem, and where I think Vic Fangio missed out on the comment is, yes, as in totality in the NFL, we know there's definitely issues as far as, the minority coaching, racism, whatever it may be. I mean, again, I'll bring up Eric Bieniemy, how he's not a head coach right now. I don't get that. Hey, Jim Caldwell, he's 12 games over 500 as an NFL head coach. He brought the Detroit Lions to the playoffs twice. I mean, the Lions, they can't go to the playoffs with anybody else. He's been a Super Bowl coach. He's fired. He's not even talked about as a head coach in the NFL. I mean, that's insane. That just tells you that there is an issue in the NFL altogether. So, yeah, good job by Vic Fangio. I know what he was trying to say. His comments weren't nearly as insensitive, I think, as Drew Brees's, but it was a good job by him taking the situation head on and addressing it and reframing his words and his thoughts and showing some compassion about the subject.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.